We are just a few days away from the release of Secrets of the Obscure, and I don't know which character to play, so I will use this video as an opportunity to decide which one will be the first character to finish the story with. Last week the hype levels were pretty low, but that changed quite fast after seeing all the new trailers, the one with leaked gameplay, and the new information about daily rewards. I also liked the trailer of the fly-through with the Griffin from Weeping Willow, so I'm looking forward to the launch on the 22nd of August. But for now, let me show you the candidates that I'm thinking of starting the story with. The first one is Herald, which is one of the most played classes in the past week, and I think I'm starting to fall in love with the spec again. I have also tried the heal quickness variant, and while it is a bit more complicated than other healers, it feels fun and rewarding when you pull it off. But speaking about build choices for the story, open world and strikes, I think the quickness DPS build will be the main candidate, as it has a lot of boon support, you also have self-healing options if needed, and there is no need to switch characters for different roles. The second candidate is Mechanist, which is one of my most played classes since End of Dragons launched. But I did not put it on the list because of that. I chose it because it is one of the safer options, as you will use your mech to tank in PvE and open world, and in strikes you can do both heal and DPS support. I know it's not as good as it used to be because of the mechanical genius change, but imagine playing as a hammer mechanist. The next candidate is Reaper, the first pure DPS spec. I know I haven't played as much as I should in the last year on this character, and it was mostly parked at the jumping puzzle. But after giving it a try in the last month, I think Reaper is a solid choice for the first playthrough of this campaign because of the high burst AoE damage that it has, but also some nice range, which is something the others so far are lacking. Okay, moving on to Specter, another character that was used for farming chests at the end of jumping puzzles in the past year. But again, with all the recent changes, this became a favorite of mine. I still think the hits feel like they do not have an impact, but since you can play it as a full DPS, heal support or DPS support, it will make my life a lot easier when trying to do strikes or in meta events if heal or boon DPS will be needed. Tempest is another candidate because of all the utility it has, the build variety, and I also think it is one of the sturdier specs for Elementalist. I know compared to other choices it is still squishy, but avoiding damage is part of the fun. Of course this will depend on how hard the PvE will be at launch, but in strikes Tempest will be a solid choice. Next candidate is Virtuoso, which is the spec that I have completed End of Dragons for the first time with, and it was really fun. You do not have the clones to help you in some situations, but there are plenty of defense utilities at your disposal. It also has very good DPS, and you can use the same gear for chrono support, either quickness or alacrity. And this is the second reason that I chose it as a candidate. And my last candidate is Willbender, which I used in open world quite a lot throughout the year, as it has a short cooldown on virtues and fast playstyle, like a thief but with more defenses. I also like the build diversity that the Guardian provides, and the fact that if I need to switch to another role depending on the situation, I will be able to do that, either in open world, story or strikes. I know it doesn't have many options for ranged damage, but that should change when I can equip the Dragon Hunter bow. And these are all the specs that I have taken in consideration for the first playthrough. Please do not be offended if your spec is not here. I will eventually play on all of them, it's just a matter of time. But let's not make this longer than it should. The spec that I chose to play Secrets of the Obscure for the first time is going to be Willbender. The reason I decided to go with Willbender is because of the fast-paced gameplay and how easy you can move from one enemy to the other. You'll also have some range if needed by using the longbow, and being able to get some range was one of my criteria for picking a spec, so this fits perfectly. Mechanist was runner-up as mech can make some of the encounters trivial, but I do not want to get bored doing this. Do you think I made the right choice with Willbender? And what will be your choice for the first playthrough? If you want to see more content like this, please let me know in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed the video, please click the like and subscribe buttons.